Welcome back to the channel, guys. So today we're doing something that you would normally look at and be like, yeah, that looks pretty easy. And for the most part, it is easy to replace the end links on your sway bar, but all it takes is a little corrosion to make things more difficult. So I'm going to show you the right way to do it, and then I'm going to show you the I don't have time to mess around with this, I just want to get it done and over with way to do this. You'd be surprised how much this helps with the handling, guys. I had one of these completely blow out on my Avalanche a couple years ago, and I kept wondering, every time I would go around a corner to the left, it just felt like the whole vehicle was leaning really hard. And all it ended up being was the passenger side end link had just totally blown apart on my Avalanche. Once I replaced it, a whole different animal going through the curves. Now guys, you don't really have to remove the wheel to do this. I've already got the wheels off both sides because I'm doing other videos at the moment. But if you do want to remove the wheel, make things a little easier on yourself, 22mm lug nuts, then you can get into the gritty. So looking at our end link here, you can see it's pretty much disintegrating. This upper bushing is cracked all to crap. The lower bushing is falling apart, it's brittle, it's gone. So we need to get this guy off here. Now unfortunately, GM in all its infinite wisdom decide to not have a nut up here on top really. So if you still have your factory end links like I do, you're going to have to try to grab this top part with some pliers. So your normal procedure for doing this is you're going to grab some pliers. You're going to get a good purchase on this top bushing, preferably around the metal edge of it, and you're going to take a 15mm socket, go underneath here, get it on the nut on the other end, and you're just going to twist this sucker out, which is kind of a pain, especially when the nut on the bottom side here, or it's the end of the bolt actually, on the bottom side is just totally rusted up and gone. Alternatively, you could also use an impact on the bottom, which makes things a little easier. But the problem is, once you get this broken loose and get this top part off, a lot of the times what happens is the bolt is actually seized up in here and rusted solid to this little collar. So the quick and dirty, I don't have time for all this, I just want to get it done and over with method is your handy dandy cut off wheel. Make sure you're rocking some iPro and just cut this guy in half. And then it all just falls apart nice and easy, and you've uninstalled the original. Now we're going to take our replacement part. I got my replacements from Detroit Axle on eBay. I will post a link in the description of this video. Bad Luck Garage is an eBay affiliate, so if you use my links to purchase anything, we may get a small commission off of it. It does not affect your price. It does help support the channel, so I urge you to use the link. If you do not want a rubber replacement, you can also get a polyurethane replacement, which if you're worried about performance, I recommend. But we're just looking for a pretty close to stock replacement, so this is what we got. If you disassemble this guy, basically slide everything off, like so, and just set it all on the ground. Sleeve, this bushing. And the first thing I want you to look at is the lower bushing. All the bushings are the same, but you'll notice on one side it has this little lip that sticks up here. That lip is meant to engage in the lower control arm and also to engage in your sway bar and kind of center the link in there when you're putting it in, or center the bushing in there. So if you look at the other side, it's just flat. So just remember, the end that has the part that sticks up is always going to face metal, not face the bolt. So like this first bushing is going to go underneath and the raised part is going to go up. Then the next bushing is going to go on top and the raised part's going to go down. Then your sleeve, then when you get up here, same thing. Bushing, raised part's going to go up, and that's what centers it in the sway bar. And then the one on the back side, the raised part's going to go down, and that's going to help center that top one in the top of the sway bar. So here we go. We got our first little washer, and we got our bushing with this part going up. Then we're going to have to feed this through, just like so. So we got our next bushing with the raised part going down. Then our next washer going down like so. And we got our sleeve. And we'll get it up just enough. Next washer. Next bushing with the raised side up. Hopefully you can see that. I can't see the back side of the camera from here. Again, we're going to engage that in the sway bar. Get in there. Get it nice and centered. We're going to push our bolt on through and on up. Then we got our next bushing. Part that sticks up goes down. Then our last washer on top. All that centered up. And get our nut started. Have to tap our bolt up a little bit. Luckily I have a hammer. There we go. Now we can get our nut started. You want to make sure you've got everything centered up in here. Make sure your little lip that sticks out, you may have to manipulate your sway bar a little bit. Move stuff around down here. Make sure everything is lined up the way it's supposed to be. Now the sizing on these could be different depending on what brand you get. With this Detroit axle one, it's 13mm, so I'm going to use a 13mm socket on the bottom, a 13mm wrench on the top, and start tightening this up. While you're tightening this up, pay attention to make sure everything is centered up the way it's supposed to be, going through the holes here. And when you're tightening this up, there's not really a torque specification for this. If there is, I'm not aware of it. But you don't want to over tighten this. What you want to do is you want to just tighten this up enough to where your bushings here just start to compress. You don't want this thing just torqued all the way down. You want it to have some movement. So keep that in mind when you're tightening it up. You want these bushings just slightly compressed, but you don't want them just smushed out. And I can see that my bushings are just barely starting to compress a little bit. And also I saw as I was tightening, I saw it was just starting to pull the sway bar down a little bit. That's right where we need it. Just finished doing the other side, and I want you to see it's the same way on this side. They're just barely compressed. It was just starting to pull the sway bar down a little bit. And one thing I recommend doing, because you want this to be even from side to side, I recommend kind of looking and seeing how much thread you have left and trying to make that the same on both sides. Not rocket science, doesn't have to be perfect, just has to be close. Once you got that done, if you took your wheel back off, again 22mm, get your wheel back on, torque to 140 foot-pounds, and that's it, guys. You just replace the end links on your 99 through 2007 classic GMC Sierra or Chevy Silverado. Hope this video helped you out. If you want to see more maintenance, repair, and upgrade videos for your 99 through 2007 GMC Sierra or Chevy Silverado, check out the playlist I'll have linked in the comment section. Thanks once again for watching. Now get out in the garage, get something done, and I'll see you next time here on Bad Luck Garage.